Welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Powercast, Nintendo News Minute. I am your host, N64 Josh, and we are going to jump right into this thing. And guess what's back in the news, you guys? Mario Brothers movie sets new box office records. It's now made 500 million in North America. We are looking at a Nintendo Life article, and it says after crossing the 1 billion mark internationally at the box office after 26 days, the Super Mario Brothers movie has now set some new records at the domestic box office in North America, soaring past the 500 million mark. According to an update from The Hollywood Reporter, Illumination and Nintendo's movie is now the fourth movie to cross the half billion mark domestically in the pandemic era. The Avatar sequel, 683.9 million. Top Gun sequel, 718.7 million, and Spider-Man No Way Home 814.1 million are still out in front. This is also a major milestone for Illumination and Universal in this region, becoming the first ever film from the pair to surpass 500 million. Note adjusted for inflation. That's a little side note there. It's set a record for the second highest grossing animated film of all time in this location, and apparently the third biggest Universal release of all time after E.T. and Jurassic World. It follows the news earlier this week that the Mario movie has had a hugely successful launch in Japan and has also experienced a lot of love in locations like Mexico, breaking even more records. So again, nothing but good news on the Super Mario movie front. Love seeing just all the records. I have one friend on my Facebook who has literally seen the movie 23 times. I liked his post today that he has gone 23 times to see the Super Mario Brothers movie. So, there are some people that are just absolutely loving it. I don't know if any of you got a chance to see, they in certain locations they aired the Japanese version, which wasn't dubbed in a few locations in the United States. I wasn't able to go and check it out, but I think that would have been pretty fun. I'm also curious if or what they might have changed. I might try to look into it to see if there's, what was Mario playing? Did he play the Famicom? Did it look more like the Famicom? I need to look into this. I want to find out. These are questions that are popping into my mind right as I'm recording here, but I'm just curious if they, if those nods were changed, those little subtle nods were changed for the Japanese release, just because they had the Famicom there, not the NES, and Mario is seen playing the NES in the movie. So I'm curious about that kind of stuff. But the movie is absolutely crushing, over 5 million in the US alone. And is it not kind of crazy to talk about like the Super Mario Brothers with movies like Avatar, Top Gun, and Spider-Man? It's crazy to me that those are in the same league, but here we are. And even the third biggest release next to E.T. and Jurassic World, it really just goes to show the power of the Mario brand and what Nintendo is capable of. And I'm here for it and cannot wait to see what else we get. So many questions run through my mind. The Legend of Zelda, Metroid. I mean, after the success of Animal Crossing, I would love to see something take place even in that world. What would that look like? Who would Nook be the villain? It's hard to say, but let me know in the comments what you would like to see as Nintendo moves forward with this massive success of the Super Mario Brothers movie. Next up, we have a Ubisoft sale in the eShop. And this is from Nintendo Everything, and it says Ubisoft May 2023 Switch eShop sale includes the lowest price ever for Rayman Legends or Rayman Legends and South Park: The Fractured. I'm not going to read anymore. You guys know the name. But there is a lot of games on sale, and you can save up to 80% on a handful of the titles. So jumping into this here, Assassin's Creed, the Enzo Collection, um, is $19.99, was $39.99. Assassin's Creed, the Rebel Collection, $14.79, was $39.99. Assassin's Creed Anniversary Edition Mega Bundle is $39.99, down from $99.99. And Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered is $9.99. Child of Light, $4.99. Child of Light and Valiant Hearts, $7.49. Family Feud, $7.49. Hungry Shark World, $1.99. Immortal Phoenix Rising, $11.99, down from $59.99. Jeopardy, everybody's favorite, $7.99. Hungry Shark, let's see, I'm sorry. Just Dance 2023 is $23.99, down from $59.99. I'm not going to go through every one of these. I'm just going to grab a few more of the notable ones. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, $29.99, down from 60. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope Gold Edition is $60.29, down from $89.99. Monopoly is $7.99. Moving right along here, Rabbids Party of Legends is $11.99, down from $39.99. Rayman Legends Definitive Edition is $7.99, down from $39.99. Let's see. Risk, if you're into it, $5.99. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, $4.90, was $14.99. So if you've missed that one, this is a game that is talked about often, and that is very loved. And it's in the same from my understanding, it's a similar game to like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game, the Simpsons arcade game. And so if you're looking for a classic beat 'em up that's like, I kind of said this is almost like a cult classic, honestly. $5, you can get yourself Scott Pilgrim versus the World. South Park, the Fractured is $11.99, and South Park Stick of Truth $8.99. Starlink, which is fantastic, guys. If you haven't played Starlink, I do suggest picking it up. It is $8.99, down from $69 or $59.99. Trials Rising, which is okay on Switch, is a little tough without the analog triggers, is $5.99. Trivial Pursuit, $6.99. The sequel to Trivial Pursuit, $9.99. Uno, can't go wrong with Uno, right? $3.99. Valiant Hearts, The Great War is $4.99, and Wheel of Fortune is $6.99. So a lot of sales there from Ubisoft. If you're just looking for something to take up your time for the next week while you wait for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, there might be something from that massive list of sales that you won't take too big a hit on the wallet. Lastly, here we're moving over to an article from IGN, and the headline reads, "Ultra rare GameCube prototype with LED lighting and unique controller discovered by collector." And it says a collector purchased a prototype model that originally appeared at Nintendo Space World 2000. And as we get through this article, you're going to see Nintendo Space World 2000 was special. It was a special time for Nintendo. So, as spotted by Kotaku, Donnie Fillerup of Console Variations created a blog post confirming they had purchased the prototype, explaining and illustrating the difference between the prototype model and the final design of Nintendo's iconic purple lunchbox. There is a photo, if you guys aren't watching the video, there is a photo of the GameCube. A few things worth noting. The power button is kind of rounded instead of being concaved, right? It's got a little of a dome shape to it. The controller is interesting. Now it's kind of yellowed, obviously, just from time. I'm assuming the stick is still gray, but the overall GameCube controller shape is a little bit different. It's not quite the the shape is just varied a little bit. It's indigo on top and gray on the bottom, or possibly clear transparent is what it looks like based on the photo. The main thing worth noting is the start button is not in the center of the controller. It's where the D-pad should be, and there is no D-pad on this controller. So the A button is also blue, not green, and the X button. I'm looking at a GameCube controller right now. I'm grabbing mine real quick. Yeah. So the kind of the kidney shaped buttons of X and Y, the B button, I'm assuming is what that is green and is also the same kidney shape, whereas the final was just a small B button. And So this is quite interesting. The cover too that lifts up also has a transparent window where you can see which disc is in, or at least a like you can see a little section of the disc while it's in this GameCube. So here we go. Just going on through the article here. It says Fairlab details all the differences they spotted inside and out of the console. Some of the more notable changes include the prototype GameCube's transparent window lid that had LED lights inside, which you can see in a better display in the video. If you guys want to check out the IGN article, you can watch the video there. Which was so in the video, you can kind of see there's a screenshot of it here. You can kind of see the LEDs lighting up on the disc itself. Even more interesting is the design of the prototype GameCube controller seen above, which is radically different from the controller included with the console. Outside of the M-shaped design, the prototype controller features a menu button in the location of the D-pad, which I thought was the start button based on the photo. And in the let's see, and the B button on the top right is bean shaped like the X and Y buttons. Now, this is what's interesting about, especially about Game World, Nintendo Space World 2000. Okay. So from the article here, it says Nintendo Space World was an annual trade show the company held from 1989 until 2001. Though 2000 Space World show was arguably the most memorable one. And this is so very true. Okay. It says outside of the reveal of this prototype GameCube, which was, I mean, it was hype. You guys, there was so much hype. Remember, this is the infancy of the internet, so we weren't seeing, like, a lot of this was still coming uh via like magazines, maybe some articles and stuff online as websites were kind of getting more and more off the ground. It's hard for me to remember exactly, but I want to say I do remember watching video of this. But again, it was the infancy of the internet. But here's the notable things that came out of this. So it says outside of the reveal of the prototype GameCube, the 2000 Space World Showcase had a ton of quirky tech demos shown off, such as the unreleased Zelda game, which we talked about in the countdown, right? With Twilight Princess, because that really was the game everybody thought we were going to see next, and then we ended up seeing Wind Waker. And it is worth, if you've never seen that tech demo, go and check that out. The other is Meowth's Party, which doesn't really, I didn't really resonate with me because it being Pokemon, I don't really remember it. But the other thing is Super Mario 128. And that was kind of a big deal because you went from Mario 64 to Super Mario 128. And the tech demo showed, I believe, if I remember correctly, 128 Marios all on screen at once, running around, jumping. And it was just a very bizarre thing for them to show off, but they were really showcasing the power of the system back at that time, which, again, going from the 64 to the GameCube, those were the days when consoles seemed like such a massive jump. And so it was really cool being able to see everything happening on the screen at once. It really felt like the future, if you will, because of how powerful the GameCube was. So the article goes on to say the GameCube was ultimately released in 2001, enjoying modest sales over the next 5 years before eventually giving way to the Wii. Today, it enjoys a cult following from Nintendo fans, with Metroid Prime just recently getting a high-rated remaster. And then they go on to talk about their top 5 GameCube games of all time. And it really was a special time in gaming for me. When I think back on the GameCube, I think about it so fondly. Um, Getting it for Christmas at a time that I didn't think it would be possible, and having family members get me different, like, controllers and memory cards and games, so that I ended up having an incredible Christmas in 2001 when the GameCube released, and just had such a great time playing the games that were available with the launch of that system, most notably being Star Wars Rogue Leader. Like, such an incredible game. And it's kind of weird, but I've had the itch to go back and play that recently, and so I might do just that. It's just a fond, I look back on the GameCube with such fond memories. One thing worth noting in the photo, if you're not able to see the video, if you're not watching the video, if you're just listening to the audio, the GameCube that they're showcasing, that shows the LED light and everything. There's women holding the GameCube, and they've got a silver, an indigo, another silver, and then a red one. They don't even have the black GameCube. Well, actually, there may be a black one on the side. It's there may be a black one there as well. And it's a little bit she's kind of cut off so you can't really see, but it does look like there is a black GameCube there as well. But we didn't see the silver until much later in the GameCube's life cycle. And the red, I don't think ever actually existed. We did see the spice, which was the orange, but I don't think that was in the States. I think that was in Japan and maybe Europe. Uh, but I don't know the exact location just off the top of my head. But I don't think a red one ever hit the store shelves that I am aware of. I may be wrong. You can let me know in the comments below. But this has been your Nintendo News Minute. Of course, if you've got any Nintendo news that you would like me to cover, use the hashtag NPC News. I will make sure to check that daily before going live to see if there are any notable stories worth mentioning. Thank you guys so much for listening. And I'm so grateful and I appreciate you all so very much. And I hope you have a fantastic Saturday. Bye now.